clinical stage biopharmaceutical company that is focused on discovering, licensing, acquiring, and developing therapeutics to diagnose and treat diseases and just to make people's lives in general better. And the company is traded here at the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol TNXP. With me is CEO Seth Lederman. Welcome, Seth. And I understand you are looking into long COVID and whether there's anything Tonics can do to help with that. Can you explain what you're doing there?
Thank you, Jane, and thanks for having me on. Yes, as you know, we've been working on fibromyalgia for many years. And even before I entered the biotech industry, I was a rheumatologist and a professor at Columbia Medical School. So I have had a long history studying fibromyalgia. And at Tonics, we have a very active program. It's mid-phase 3 in treating fibromyalgia. So when we first saw long COVID emerge, we realized that about 2/3 of patients with long COVID have a syndrome that's very similar to fibromyalgia. And that's why we've met with the FDA. We have an IND clearance, and we're about to start a phase 2 study testing our fibromyalgia drug for its ability to study long COVID. Now, long COVID, let me just go for the audience. Long COVID occurs in about 1/3 of people who recover from COVID. So once the acute phase of COVID is over, about 1/3 of people wind up with lingering chronic symptoms. And the symptoms are widespread pain, trouble sleeping, fatigue, and brain fog. And those are really the same 4 main symptoms of fibromyalgia. That's what attracted us to it and what got us so interested. Yeah. So we just looked into a database of 75 million lives to see how feasible our study would be, since we're going to focus on long COVID with widespread pain. And from that, we found that about 41%, more than 40% of people out there in the United States, adults, we think would qualify for the phase 2 study we're about to do.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was 1 in 3 people who had COVID have long COVID. That is a high percentage. I mean, this could potentially be a big market.
It is a very large market. It's also an enormous threat to the health of the people in the United States and to our healthcare system. And that's why on April 5th, President Biden announced an unprecedented government-wide effort to deal with long COVID. Okay. This is a very big storm brewing, because the things we know about long COVID is about 1/3 of people get it. And the recent studies have shown that vaccination doesn't prevent it. Oh, so the rate of long COVID after breakthrough infection, the breakthrough is what people generally call COVID in someone who's vaccinated. The rate of long COVID in breakthrough does not appear to be lower or much lower than the rate of long COVID in people that weren't vaccinated. So this is a big problem headed towards us. A study in England found that about 25% of long COVID patients can't return to work.
Goodness.
So we are really looking at a very big problem. And, because we've been studying fibromyalgia so long, and because we have a clear conception about what's causing long COVID, we're really out in front here. And we're very excited to start this program.
Yeah, well, and this disease just continues to kind of mystify us, this virus. So now let's talk a little bit about TNX-102 SL. I'm getting that all right. So yes. Mid-phase 3, this is for fibromyalgia and long COVID. Explain to me what's going on with that.
Sure. So we have one positive phase 3 study that's completed, and to file our NDA and get approval, you typically need a second study. We've just started enrolling that second study. So we expect to have interim data in the first quarter of next year, and to complete the study next year also. 102 SL is a sublingual tablet. So that's a tablet that goes under the tongue, and it releases the medicine directly into what's called the mucosal membrane. And it's taken once nightly at bedtime. So every night at bedtime, people in the trial take the medicine. And our model is that it improves sleep quality. So it's not a sleeping pill. It doesn't knock you out. It's not a benzo. It's not a hypnotic. And it doesn't cause all the other problems of those drugs. But what this does is taken every night over a period of time, improves sleep quality. And our view is that if you can improve sleep quality, there's, the effects ripple through the nervous system, and there's an element of healing that goes on so that some of these other symptoms like widespread pain, cognitive disorder, brain fog, and fatigue actually get better. But we think that sleep is the Achilles heel, if you will, of fibromyalgia, that if you want to really crack fibromyalgia, if you can improve people's sleep, then what we found in a phase 3 study is they get better.
Okay. Well, we look forward to the updates as always. Dr. Lederman, great to see you again. Thank you so much.